This podcast dives into some real talk that might be triggering to some listeners. Viewer discretion is advised. Sure, Dinsang. Welcome to an episode of Clock It, the MTV Shuga Down South edition, brought to you by Staying Alive Foundation. And I am your host, Man's Not Hot, aka Sheepy Yappy Tori. This is where we unpack those uncomfortable conversations, you understand? But I don't want you to think of it as just a podcast. No, it's a movement. I want to hear from you guys. I want us to interact and I want us to have fun. But if you're going to speak to us on the socials, please use the hashtags #ClockItPodcast and #SafeDrofDrof. Coming up,
self-introspection is very important. Because when someone else is telling me what I am, and I don't know what I am, of course I'm going to believe them.
Social media is playing a big role in the decline of mental health, good mental health in young people.
We take it one-on-one in the streets for your thoughts with the Down South mic.
A lot of people are still taking part in unprotected sex.
Then stick around for our wild final round of the Down South Facts, where our guests get tested with some tricky truths and lies.
Ooh, clock it!
I love that.
Why don't you put out the lights, boy? Why don't you turn the lights out? And that's why they call it down south, boy. That's why they call it down south. Why don't you put out the lights, boy?
So really the question we want to answer today is, how do I know if I'm being exploited? So we're going to talk about sexual exploitations, we want to talk about safe sex options, and really taking charge of our health. And to have those discussions today, I am joined by Ayakha Ntunja, who plays Thembi gu MTV Shuga Down South. We lived through Thembi's chaotic journey from heartbreak to healing on MTV Shuga Down South. Our expert Dr. Selikane drops real talk about sexual health and survivor empowerment. Banyana Vaga, oh my word, welcome to Clock It. Okay, let me see.
Which way do you do it?
I think it doesn't matter as long as you clock it, period.
I get it.
Bona, I love the energy. Ayakha, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you feeling about today?
I'm excited. I don't know what you have in store for me, but I'm ready. I'm ready to tackle.
I got you. I'll be easy on you.
I hope so.
Dr. K, I see you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, and thank you for inviting me. I can't wait for the conversation.
We're talking about Ayakha and her journey as Thembi. I mean, we want to know all about Thembi so we can speak about it. We have Dr. K here who will unclock and spill the tea and give us all the insight, and please drag the myths for us because we don't need that. But before we start chatting, I want us to have a look at your throwback.
Oh, I'm so scared. Oh my gosh. My name is Ayakha Ntunja, and I play Thembi on MTV Shuga Down South Season 3. Thembi is a very confident character, outgoing, outspoken.
Inside here with Julie High's finest.
So with Thembi's journey, it starts off very easy, very light. Thembi learns that, sex is not just sex. There's a lot more to it. As she learns, she understands how important it is to actually protect yourself sexually.
Is there something wrong with me? Does that mean I have an STI?
So Thembi's relationship with snacks comes across as a very older guy, young girl kind of situation. So she sees someone who can give her an opportunity. But it's not just, I just want an older guy. I'm doing this because I'm trying to get out of a situation at home.
So Chamivela, you're okay to just be a side chick as next? Side chick, girlfriend, wife, and easy. I mean, all I know is that snacks can make me famous.
So throughout the story, it teaches a lot to young girls, I believe, that, sometimes it's not just glitz and glam.
I mean, watching that, I was like, you know what? I can see myself in Thembi a little bit, but you know what? I am here so we can chat about it, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, playing a role like that must have taken a lot from you. Hearing Hore Ogrile STI, it must be a really difficult thing, to portray. What did it take from you as a person?
I think
Personally, what I do with every character is I take myself away from it and I indulge in what the character provides me. At that moment, Thembi was someone who was fully fledged in being so, impacted by the fact that she wants to move away from the situation she's in to live a better life for her family, that she didn't really care about what was around her.
Yeah.
It was crazy at the time. I'm even looking back and I was like, this is 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And playing that character back then and what I know now, I mean, I was younger then.
Yes.
And now I really understand that situations like that, as you grow up, you understand what Thembi was going through, all those things that she faced. But yeah, man, it didn't take away from me, but it taught me mostly.
I love that. And speaking of what Thembi went through, she went through a lot of bullying, and the bullying, did it resonate with you in any way that she got?
We go through parts of our life where sometimes we do get a little bit judged here, a little bit teased here and there about things that you feel like maybe might be cool or the way you want to live your life. But obviously in resonating with me, it wasn't anything that I had gone through for a very long time in my life. I think growing up, I really kind of loved my own bubble and I kind of liked being weird. And for me, if I wasn't weird, that was the problem. So I loved it. Yeah, you know what I mean? I think it's brought me to this moment here today.
And Dr. K, this chat is a very sensitive chat and we don't really talk about it as friends or as family or have our parents, teach us about these things. So I want you to let me know, what are the things that are said out there in the streets about STIs that you think we should unlearn?
When we specifically look at young people, right, like Thembi on Shuga Down South, they always think that in some way they're immune to the STI, because we're young. And we also think that STIs have a certain look. And that's also something that's quite problematic, right? My issue when it comes to STIs is that it also is portrayed as though the person is dirty if they have an STI. And that's why a lot of people then won't go to clinics or ask for help when they're in that situation, because they don't want to carry that identity. They don't want to be known as the dirty person or whatever other terms are used to stigmatize people who are living with STIs. We can all get STIs. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what creed you're from. Like Chomi, we are not immune to it. If you're not practicing safe love, if you're not putting on that condom, that rubber, you are definitely putting yourself at risk of getting an STI.
Yeah. And people think they'll just go away. They think, okay, they don't take it seriously because they're like, nah, it'll heal on its own. Is it a thing that a lot of people go through and do?
Yes. Definitely, you're correct with that, because STIs are easy to treat if you come in early.
Okay.
Right? If you sit with it for a very long time, what was easy to treat if you came in is now complicated. So it's very important that young people don't sit on it. And we also see it mostly with males, actually. Yes, we see it mostly with the males. They're not so proactive when it comes to taking care of their health. They only come in when really they cannot ignore the symptoms anymore.
Yeah.
And the symptoms are so debilitating and they're so painful. Thembi, you know.
Yeah.
As Thembi, you know.
Yeah.
Right?
I know.
It's not great, right? And for me, also your mental health, what state is it putting you in? If every time you go into the bathroom, you're seeing something that you know is not supposed to be there.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So we're going to dig deeper into Thembi's character and her journey just to unpack the things that she goes through. So let's check it out.
Listen, do you have a condom? Because I don't.
Yeah, somewhere in the car. I wasn't losing that much.
Okay, yeah. If you want to get some action tonight, you're going to have to go fetch it.
Tim, I'll pull out. Okay, don't Tim?
Oh.
What's next? It's a fantastic decision. I mean, your here at this party, right? Uber, you will let you in, right?
Yes, look, and I'm grateful.
Well, it doesn't feel like it, Tim. If you're grateful, then no one will listen.
Excuse me. Ke botsa ra gona le motho o re balana le. Hi, no, not really. Thembi, ke fa go thusa. Nothing else. Ibile nka se ka go atlhola. Fela re go thusa ka tsela e nepagetseng. O tshwanetse go bolele nnete.
There is someone that I slept with without a condom, but this was 3 weeks ago, and he's a celebrity, and this has nothing to do with him. I think this is something else.
Celebrity or not, sexually transmitted infections can affect anyone.
Sure. Hectic. I feel like that's so relatable though, not being honest to your doctor or your nurse. I mean, you experience that a lot, yeah?
Yeah, I do. And that's why it's important that you create spaces where people can feel comfortable enough to share that with you. Because you know that if you don't create that space, that someone will leave you without giving you a full history and you won't manage them properly. And that's why it's so important that we have more youth-friendly services out there. For Thembi to feel comfortable to talk about that. Yeah.
Hey, Thembi. You did mention that you shot Thembi while you were young. Are there any things like that you see about Thembi that you feel like they hit home?
I think being naive and feeling like you should not be able to stand your ground in terms of what you want in a situation. You know, for example, Thembi did ask for a condom. You know, and then Snacks was like, no, but I did this and this and this. I feel like there's in this day and age, we are put in many situations as young people where you feel like it's transactional. And for me, I don't want young people to think that if you know what the right thing to do is, then do the right thing.
That's true.
And if you feel like someone, your partner, whoever it may be, is not meeting you at the right thing, then maybe that should not be someone that you are opening your whole entire self to in that type of way.
Clock it.
So, yeah.
Clock it. Yes, I love that. But the nice thing is that Thembi does find her power, okay?
Yes,
she ends up finding her power. She ends up finding her voice. And have you found your power, like in real life? Have you found yourself in a place where you can say, you know what, actually, Thembi, my girl, this is me and you right now?
No, certainly. I mean, I 2 years ago and I am now two completely different people.
Yeah.
I think over time I started just not only as a person, but in this industry, you know, as an actor, as a performer, and everything that I do as a woman, I've slowly learned that my voice does matter. You know, I can say no to things if I don't like them. I can negotiate on things if I want to. I can see a different way to things. You know, I don't need to just submit to whatever is being presented to me the way it has to be presented to me. And yeah, it feels good, man. I don't know what it is. There's this thing like you sometimes on TikTok, like, you know how nice it is to be a girl.
Yeah.
You know, it's just when you pamper, the way you feel, the way you hold yourself. I think I've really come into my own, and I'm learning to grow into that person every single day. So yeah, no, I
love
definitely
that.
have.
Yeah, no, finding your voice is hectic, guys, because sometimes we think when these men say jump, we say how high, and you actually do have the liberty to say, you know what, actually, I want a condom. You know what, actually, I don't want to do this. And I think a lot of girls can relate, not just the girls. I mean, I can relate, you understand? I can see myself in Thembi. Like I said to you, would see, you know what, that condom situation, the moment he says, do you not trust me? I was like, was a one manipulator.
Yeah, what do you mean I don't trust you? Do you not trust me? You know, and just to add on that, actually, I think a great advice that my sister gave me, I don't know if this works as well. You know, she early on stages, you know, when I was younger, she was like, whenever you choose to be active, whenever you want to be in that sense with your partner, have your own.
That's actually what I wanted to say.
Yeah, have your own. I think we are so equipped that men must come with them. You're okay to be like, oh, I have mine. You know what I mean? I've got it. If you don't want to, I got it. You know what I mean? Yes, please do. I think more women and girls need to understand that you really can get your own if that's what you feel like is better for you. And you really should.
Yo, what a deep dive. And we all needed to hear that, guys. But I want to hear from you what you have to say, what your opinions are. Coming right up, we have the Down South mic, where we go into the streets and hear what you have to say. Let's check it out.
A lot of people are still taking part in unprotected sex, and I don't think a lot of people know the repercussions of that, or they know, but they just don't care because there's not as much TV shows and education on HIV.
If you are infected with a certain sexual diseases, it's not good for you to transmit it to others because you're already infected. So the best thing to do is to get it treated and find ways to prevent getting other sexual diseases. Because if you have a mindset of thinking, because I'm already affected, I should infect everyone else, that is very selfish and that is very inhumane.
He's the best.
Yeah, he is the best.
He said, I want to say.
Listen, he said, I'm not hiding anything. I'm going to say everything as is. So, Doc, now tell me, do the things that you heard here, do they shock you? Do they surprise you?
No, it doesn't shock me. I mean, I work with young people all the time. And I'm very open to the way that they think. I think it's actually very important to meet people where they are and making sure that you're creating a safe space for them to share even the things that sound ignorant and might sound like it's a myth, so that you can get to a place where we're collaborating in terms of how we move forward in your understanding. So it's not really a shock to me. I really engage with this type of content.
So, Ayakha, my darling, you just watched this, right? And I picture that you've seen so many people, you've been in so many spaces. What you've just seen now, does it reflect the demographic that you engage with?
Absolutely. But obviously, for our demographic, the way we present it, I think, is very also important.
Yeah.
We sit on our phones half the time watching TikTok and Instagram reels, you know, and we don't want to sit sometimes and go listen to a proper educational channel, and I feel like we are robbing ourselves of what we should know and teach each other. For example, like Clock It Podcast, what MTV Shuga is doing right now. Do this, then we are helping the people in our demographic. We are helping the young people to understand that it's not uncool to know how to be safe. You know, I think for me, a lot of the time, we've made this thing seem very mediocre and like, oh, it's whatever, man, live your life. I don't know, this YOLO, you only live once thing. I've never gone by that. I mean, listen, live your life, have fun, don't get me wrong, but it's really killing us. You unfortunately don't only live once, you do see tomorrow, you know, God willing, you really do. And sometimes you need to plan for your future and understand that there are some consequences to a lot of the actions that you may partake in the youth.
And then our demographic it's me, because I've learned so much from MTV Shuga Down South, and it's been so difficult growing up and having these conversations become like taboo. You know, it's like, okay, I can talk about this, but they're gonna now think I have an STI. Now it's awkward for all of us. And we don't want that. You know what? Mjolo is a choice. We choose it, guys. And we go in and out of dating people, in and out of Mjolo, but some of the things we do have consequences. And speaking of consequences, I want to look at more of Thembi's journey and her actual struggles in that. Let's take a look.
Damn it, man, Thembi. I'm even starting to have dreams about that damn video. What's wrong?
I don't know why I'm the one who's catching smoke, but he's the one that gave me an STI.
So, is that my boyfriend number? No.
Yeah, because I wanted to tell her to go test now. God again, you know how the internet is. She probably knows what's happening by now. How are you really doing though, Ms. June?
I mean, I'm on antibiotics for the STI. God, I wish there was a medication for the
Embarrassment and shame.
They'll soon be on to the next trending topic.
But did you test for like other stuff?
Yeah, but Tuli, I did test for HIV at the clinic and it came out negative. I'm going to get another retest in 3 months' time.
Imagine like speaking out and voicing out and then you're the one catching the smoke. I don't want that. I don't wish that on anyone, especially not Thembi. Like, doctor, please tell me, according to what we've seen here, STI is a real thing. And what are the numbers looking out there? Is it more common than we think it is?
Yeah, it is quite common. We saw like quite a huge spike in Gauteng. It was even spoken about earlier this year. But the thing is, whether the stats are up or not, we still need to take care of ourselves. We should not be reactive. I think as young people, we need to start to be proactive, you know. So as you shared, Ayakha, make sure that as a woman, you're not, or as a girl, okay, as a honey, right? You're not waiting for the guy to pull out the condom for the condom chat to happen, okay? And you are stopping that sexual advance if it is not protected because you know the consequences. So also make sure that you're equipping yourself with that information to make sure that you're making informed decisions about this, right? Also thinking about things like PrEP. It's very important that we are not just reacting to the fact that, oh, there's a problem. Oh, there's super gonorrhea. What's going to happen? No. Let's be proactive.
Okay.
Let's start to take care of ourselves before the situation happens, before the problem happens,
So you're speaking about PrEP, right? I want to know, so is that the way to prevent things like STIs and, well, infections?
No, so it can only help you prevent HIV, right? And it's given to those who are already HIV negative, right? So you can decide to go in and you know that you are having sexual intercourse. Mostly they do target people who are having sexual intercourse with a lot of risk factors. So adolescent girls, men who have sex with men, as well as those who have a lot of unprotected sex for whatever reason. And also you can have PrEP if you are living with someone with HIV, right? So let's say you're planning for a baby. And it's really, really useful. It's effective. It's safe. It's very easy for you to get it. And I just think that it's one of the greatest things that we can have, especially in a country that struggles with such high numbers of HIV, right? I wish a lot of young people would be on PrEP, okay? It's really just, it's one pill, you take it every day, and you make sure that you take care of yourself. However, it doesn't stop there. You're still protecting yourself with a condom to protect against the other STIs. So possibly the STI that Thembi had. So you also have to have a condom. But also, guys, can we speak about contraceptives for girls? So girls have 3 ways to protect themselves. Okay? You have a contraceptive to make sure that you don't have the babies. Then you've got the condoms to protect yourself from the babies, but as well as the STIs. And then you've got the PrEP for if something happens, that condom breaks, at least you're protected from HIV.
Okay, I love that. And you know what, guys, testing is such an awkward thing. I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm speaking for myself. You know,
even for us doctors.
How do we normalize that? How often should we go testing? How do we make it like a normal thing for us and not just like...
Can I be honest with you? It's nerve-wracking for everyone. And you know what made me feel better about it was when my doctor said it to me. And she was like, it's also nerve-wracking for me. Right? I think it's these kinds of conversations that help, quite honestly. It's because of the stigma that hangs off of a lot of these conditions that makes us scared, because we're worried that if it is positive, will this be my new identity that I'm so scared to live with that will ostracize me in society, right? But the best way to make it quite normalized or to make it popular is we talk about it.
I mean, guys, we saw the clip and we saw how much Thembi caught smoke for confronting Snacks and speaking out, you know. And I think it's something that I think a lot of girls are scared to do because they're like, what are people going to think? What are people going to say? How do we tackle that and how do we fight that and navigate it, I mean, in the society of social media that we live in?
Yeah, I thought that was actually pretty cool. Not the part where she had to deal with the repercussions.
Yeah.
But I saw her taking her agency back. So here she was, a girl who couldn't stand up for herself when she wanted a condom, and then she had to deal with those repercussions. And then there she was saying, I'm going to stand up for myself now, right?
Yes.
However, the ripple effect that then happened on social media is worrying, and this is something that we see quite a lot. Social media is playing a big role in the decline of mental health, good mental health in young people.
And I also just want to speak like on a personal journey. I think sexual exploitation makes you feel less than, makes you blame yourself, you know, that, okay, this person said if I don't do this, then I don't trust them. This person said if I don't do this, then I don't love them. And I think a lot of girls are really like experiencing that, and it does really play a lot on your mental health. It does affect you, you know, because you could go for years thinking, no, but it's me, I did that. And how did portraying that with Thembi like affect you and how you viewed that?
I think for me, like you said, when you go into that mental state, it's more so something that has long formed before it has become something like sexual exploitation with a partner. I think validation is where it comes from and stems from. When I speak to my friends, speak to people younger than me, I always, especially young girls, even young boys, I really need to hear, how do you consider and see yourself? Because in this day and age, we are so exposed to different mirrors of what we can be and what we should be and what we should do and what this world expects us to be, that we forget to have self-introspection of what we are and what we're becoming. We're not happy with who we are half the time because we're looking at the next person. So when someone comes to you and, you know, puts that statement out there of saying, this is what I consider love. And people do that. People say love is sex, or when you do this for me, I will appreciate you more. If you do this for me, it's you know, it means this. And for me, I think, I'm sorry to say this, but I feel like that's utter rubbish. You can't be in a situation with people, friends, relationship, family, or anyone who want to put you in that type of box where you have to have a certain transaction to be loved, to be seen, to be taken care of. It's not transactional. And I think with sexual exploitation, to correct myself, it comes a lot of the time is that I've learned from a young age and growing up now is self-introspection is very important.
Yeah.
Because when someone else is telling me what I am, and I don't know what I am, of course I'm going to believe them because that's the first thing I think is right. But now that I've slowly taught my mind and I've slowly understood and I've learned these things and I've researched about these things and I've actually spoken to myself, when you come and tell me something that is false, automatically that doesn't resonate with me.
Guys, I really want to hear from the streets what you guys have to say, so let us check it out.
That's why they call it down south, boy. That's why they call it down south. Why don't you put out the lights, boy? Why don't you turn the lights out?
Constant social media time has a negative impact because you're mostly on your phone instead of actually socializing on the outside world and just always in your room and always just wanting to stay indoors. So I feel like it has a negative impact over a positive impact.
I feel like social media, if you spend a lot of time on that, you will gain insecurity with yourself.
Constant social media has a lot of bad energy on my health because now I'm always focusing on what people have to say about how I look, how I should be, because now I'm living on what they think I should be, if I should put it like that. And I can most definitely say that it
takes me away from my family time because I'm always on my phone. I'm always trying to see what is about other people instead of seeing what is about my family.
You know, mental health is a serious problem that we are facing as the youth and as the people who are not the youth. As a person who's gone to therapy for 10 plus years, I can still say that there are myths around it, you know, mental health, STIs. What are the craziest myths that you've heard about that?
Oh, mental health. I think, one of them would be it's for crazy people. I think also for me, mental health, well, I grew up in a home where it was vastly welcome to go to therapy. I just didn't understand it because I remember the first time I went, I cried a lot. So I was like, why is this lady making me cry? I was like, I don't like this. So I stopped. But yeah, man, I think it's not for crazy people. Even starting it last year, I got back to it because it really does help equip your brain, your process. And it's really nice to understand what I think about as myself before I go out into the world, because then I'm more equipped to handle situations because now I know what they stem from or how they affect me and how I can actually release them effectively.
I hear that and I can relate. I can really relate. I mean, it's been tough, guys, having to say to your peers that I'm going to, not just peers, family, I'm going to see my therapist. Aibo. Right. And you know what? I've been so confident now, you know, talking about it because I get to also educate and say, no, guys, this is what it is. And you can find that they also go through things and that you can tell them and say, listen, I think you might want to see someone.
Yeah, you get to relate to people. But I also think what's very important to also say is that mental health is a spectrum. We can all find ourselves at some point on that spectrum, right? So you might have good mental health in that you're feeling okay, you're coping well with stresses and so forth. But something can happen to you, a big event like a death or a failure or disappointment that can lead you to the other side of the spectrum where it's difficult for you to cope. And that's when we say that you have ill mental health and you require extra support. But I think that wherever you are on the continuum or on the spectrum, you always do require some sort of support. Whether you're getting that support from a professional or you're getting that support from friends, like being able to open up and speak about these things, like how we're speaking. You know, you could be healing me by just saying that I get help with my mental health for the past 10 years, and this is what I've learned, and this is what I can impart to you.
I want to hear something from you, though. Okay, from someone who just found out who they have an STI. I mean, it's a very awkward conversation, and we've talked about that. Ne? How do you now disclose it to your partner in a less, I don't know, messy way? Like, how do you start that conversation? How do you get comfortable with talking about that?
Yeah, so it's quite difficult, right? Because then you need to have the conversation about how many partners do we both have. That's the most important thing. I would say rather, right, say to your partner, hey, can you please go test together? So you have a professional mediate that conversation for you. And if they are refusing, then that also should be an indication to you that maybe something is not happening, you know, the way it should. However, it is still your responsibility to say that since I am having sexual intercourse with you, you need to have this information. I decided to take control of my life. I went to the clinic. I did this test and this test. But I mean, certainly you should have had that conversation before. Look, I've dated before, okay? I used to have these conversations. I don't play about it. All right, I don't play about it. And maybe because I'm from the medical fraternity, it was like it wasn't a thing of we're going to discuss, we're going to negotiate. I'm getting tested. You are getting tested, and we're going to discuss it.
Getting tested.
Yes, and if you don't want to, I will leave you. You know, so it's very important. But anyway, I think the best thing to do is to always make sure that you are honest about what you're doing. Every step that you take in your sexual health journey, if you're alongside a partner, you should be partnering with them through that journey.
All the time.
Can I also add something on that? I think the biggest thing, especially in opening those kind of conversations, and this is just in general relationship with, obviously with a partner, a safe space is a space knowing that, listen, where you're coming from and where I'm coming from are two different ends of the world. I want to walk this journey with you. You need to be open to understanding some people have had a past, some people are learning from them, and some people are cleaning themselves up. This thing of perfection that people love to assume in relationships is sometimes really half the time not there. So you need to be open to that, because 9 out of 10 you're not going to find someone who's fully perfect.
True.
So you're going to accept these things. Open those conversations so someone feels free to be honest with you, so that you both can tackle it together and you can be safe together, rather than hiding things in a relationship and finding out later.
And it's not about blaming. Be very careful with that. If we both decided to lay in this act together,
we're going to deal with what we're laying with.
The consequences are also both ours. Okay, so so we need to get away from that whole notion. So Thembi, actually, I wanted to shout at you, Thembi.
Why?
Because why all my snacks?
Mopela batho.
That's why. I you also made that decision.
I did.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, ira stigma chomi. We must be careful. Ira stigma chomi. Thembi.
I don't think I thought of that when watching the show. I really didn't.
So we must be careful of that. So that's the problem with the boys. That's how we lose out on the boys as medical professionals. They don't come in because of that framing.
That's why they call it down south, boy. That's why they call it down south. Why don't you put out the lights, boy? Why don't you turn the lights out?
So, ladies, this game is called 2 Truths and 1 Lie, right? What we're going to do is I'm going to read you guys 2 truths, and then I'm going to read you guys a lie somewhere in the mix there, and you have to tell me which ones are the truths and which one is the lie. It's quite simple, right? So, are you ready?
Yeah,
let's get it. Bianong, you at home have to engage with me. You need to tell me which one the lie is. Use your social media hashtags down south facts, #lie, #truth. I can't wait to hear from you guys. I will be keeping score, so let's see who's sharper with the down south facts. So here with me, I have 2 boards where you guys will write your answers in secret, and then little mpontazona at the end to tell me which one the lie is. Okay. Can you please pass it on? Ready for round 1?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Scenario A. Thembi was manipulated into having unprotected sex with Snacks, who later ghosted her. Scenario B. Thembi became captain of a school's drummies team, loud and proud. Scenario C. Thembi scored a record deal after being spotted at a big party. Which one is the lie?
Mara, how is this fair? If I'm sitting with Thembi.
Well. Guys, you guys have to know.
Exactly.
Okay, so ladies, let's see your answers. Ooh, clocking!
She totally looked at mine, but okay.
But she wanted to, didn't she? She wanted to. She said, "Yeah, now ufuna ukuba famous." Yes, she literally said that. So, okay, I love that. We're drawed for now. Scenario A. Thembi contracted an STI and was dragged online for it. Scenario B. She got VIP access at a major party and met her music industry idol. Scenario C. She left school early to get married. Which one is the lie? Let me see your answers, ladies.
Starting with me.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Let's see yours. Okay, it's a draw again because the right answer is scenario C. I mean, definitely she did not get married at an early age. No. Okay, now we are on round 3. Let's get it?
All right.
Okay. Scenario A. Thembi's video went viral for all the wrong reasons, hurting her self-esteem. Scenario B. She opened up publicly about her struggles and stood up for herself. Scenario C, she was offered a brand deal after going viral. Which one is the lie?
I'm a little worried about this one. How tough.
Okay. Let's see, Ayakha. All right, another draw, guys.
I don't like this. I don't.
Another draw.
Don't.
The correct answer is scenario C. It is scenario C.
Tough question.
I mean, she did get public shame. And Doc, I want to hear from you. How heavy is this public shame and how hectic is it on your mental health?
It's very hectic. I mean, apart from you having to deal with the actual illness itself and having to reconcile with that, you know, now you have to deal with public scrutiny, which it's such an intimate issue to deal with. It's very important for us to start clocking the tea and say that, you know, it doesn't matter who you are, girl. It doesn't matter where you come from. Anybody can get an STI. If you're not protected, you can get one. So there's no use in shaming anybody for doing so. It doesn't move us forward. It only moves us backwards. That's lame. Sorry.
It is.
It's not lame.
I'm so happy. Those facts are coming in hot, okay? But are you ready for round 4?
We have a round 4.
I want to break that tie.
I thought I won already.
We want to break that tie. So let's try harder. Scenario A. She got expelled from school after being tested. Scenario B. She received emotional support from her girl Thuli and started treatment. Scenario C. Thembi went to the clinic and got tested for HIV and STIs. Which one is the lie, ladies?
Don't look at mine.
Dr. K, show us yours. Ayakha, can I see yours?
For my name, of course.
But don't let her draw every day.
But it's not a draw. I'm 2 people.
Okay, so yours counts 2 points.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Give me a high fair. It's really not fair. Round 5, the last and final round.
Yes.
Scenario A. Thembi used her looks to try and escape her tough situation.
Okay.
Scenario B. She was gifted money for school fees by a caring sponsor. Scenario C. She often felt like she had no real guidance at home. Which one is the lie?
Let's try, no?
Pregnancy brain.
Don't you do that. You are stigmatizing me.
You said it. Okay, I'm sorry.
You don't want to repeat for me?
No. Why is to repeat that?
Not too sure.
Tiebreaker.
Okay, ladies, are you ready?
Do you need my help?
I think I'm ready.
Your time will come.
Your
time will come.
Dr. K, you want to show me your answer?
What's that?
When are you looking at my?
I'm sorry.
Okay, Ayakha, let's see your answer.
You subnoxious.
Oh, it has hearts and everything.
But it's not fair.
Okay, I'm sorry, but the right answer is scenario B.
Yeah, I thought of it. And then I thought, let me do some charitable work today.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so this breaks the tie then. This breaks the tie. Our winner is Ayakha. Yo, guys, that is a wrap for today's episode. I mean, big love to Ayakha and Dr. K for dropping some gems on us. And today we learned how to turn shame into power, and testing is your superpower, guys. I mean it. Remember to always clock it.